Hello, boys and girls. Do you know what day it is? Storytime day. I was going to say it's Tuesday because Tuesday is the first day of the week you can watch this, but you might be watching it on a different day, so we'll just call it Storytime Day. And Panda and I are ready to have another fun story time. Now, Panda told me he's going to stop acting like a movie star and just be regular Panda. But he was just trying to pretend to be somebody else because he's sad about not being able to see you. But we told him it's going to be okay. The day is coming. So, Panda, come on out of your box and we'll welcome the boys and girls. Come on. Oh, here he is. And he's waving. He said no more celebrity waves, it's just Panda. He just wants to go back to being your very, 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 very good friend Panda. And he loves you all so much. All right, let's welcome the boys and girls, Panda. Okay? Welcome, welcome everyone. Now you're here, we'll have some fun. First we'll clap our hands just so. Then we'll stretch. Look, I'm going to stretch like this and touch our toes. Welcome, welcome everyone. Now you're here. Time for fun. Okay, Panda is going to sit over here in his chair and we're going to sing our, kind of like our theme song, isn't it? Okay. Where is Thumpkin? Where is Thumpkin? Here I am, here I am. How are you today, sir? Very well, I thank you. Run away, run away. Where is Pointer? Where is Pointer? Here I am, here I am. How are you today, sir? Very well, I thank you. Run away. Run away. Where is Middle Finger? Where is Middle Finger? Here I am, here I am. How are you today, sir? Very well, I thank you. Run away, run away. Where is Ring Finger? Where is Ring Finger? Here I am, here I am. How are you today, sir? Very well, I thank you. Run away, run away. Where is Pinky? Where is Pinky? Here I am, here I am. How are you today, sir? Very well, I thank you. Run away, run away. Okay, I finally have convinced Panda Bear why we can't say the names of the boys and girls because we don't know who's watching right now. So, you know, we've changed things around. So we're going to say, where are the boys? Where are the boys? Stand up, boys. Stand up, boys. How are you today, boys? We hope you're great because we're glad you're here. We're glad you're here. Where are the girls? Where are the girls? Stand up, girls. Stand up, girls. How are you today, girls? Wow, that was a big answer. We're glad you're great. And where are the grown-ups? Where are the grown-ups? Stand up, grown-ups. Stand up, grown-ups. How are you today, grown-ups? We're all good today and we're all ready for a story. Okay. All right, Panda and I picked out some other books about fall because, okay, can you see Panda? Oh, you can see out of the corner of your eye. Good, because I have to hold the book so the boys and girls can see it. And this is called Pumpkin Cat, written and illustrated by Ann Mortimer. Oh, look at that. One morning in May, Cat wondered, how do pumpkins grow? I know, said Mouse, and I will show you how. Cat found some flower pots. What now, asked Cat. Time to add the soil, said Mouse. So they did. Cat then, look, he's using his paw to make holes in the soil with her paws. And, all right, what now, asked Cat. Time to plant the pumpkin seeds, said Mouse. So they did. And then, look, Mouse found a watering can. What now? Asked Cat. Time to water the seeds, said Mouse. So they did. They left the pots in a warm, sunny spot. And 10 days later, 2 green leaves appeared. Look at that. In each pot. Oh, what now? Asked Cat. Time to plant the seedlings outside, said Mouse. So they did that. In a few weeks, there were lots of big prickly leaves and big yellow papery flowers covered in pollen. And lots of bees came and buzzed between the flowers. What now, asked Cat. We just watch, said Mouse. So they did. By midsummer, each plant had a fuzzy little green pumpkin. Caw, 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 called some big crows. Remember, last week we saw a story about Scarecrow and crows. What now? Asked Cat. We need to make a scarecrow, said Mouse. So they did. Well, by October, the pumpkins were very big and very, you tell what color that is? Orange. What now? Asked Cat. Time to pick our pumpkins, said Mouse. So they did. Now, said Mouse, I am going to make you a surprise. Look at Mouse. Around there. Happy Halloween. And I'm sure you will be getting ready with your pumpkins pretty soon, too. Okay. This book is called Nuts, and we have had quite a few stories about squirrels gathering nuts, getting ready for winter. This book is called Nuts by Paula Gerritsen. Mouse lives on a little hill. She has a beautiful view of the field, the farm, the meadow, and far, far away, the nut tree. Time to collect nuts. Do you know mice collect nuts just like squirrels do? Mouse wraps her scarf around her neck, puts on her coat with the big pockets, extra big pockets for extra lots of nuts. Suddenly, Gull swoops above Mouse. Go home, he screeches, a storm is coming. But Mouse can't hear. There's Mouse down there over the wind. And the farmer is racing back to the barn before the rain comes. Hare jumps out of the way shouting, get out of here, Mouse, or you'll be run over. But Mouse can't hear over the roar of the tractor. In the meadow, Sheep bleats at Mouse. Watch out! Behind you, a dog, a dog! But Mouse can't hear over the barking. Well, suddenly, it gets very dark. Lightning strikes and thunder roars, and the wind blows even harder, and it whips the leaves into the air and almost lifts Mouse into the air too. You know, we've had days like that. But finally, here is the nut tree. Mouse dives into the hole at the bottom of the tree to get out of the wind. And before you know it, she is fast asleep. But when she wakes up, Mouse goes outside to collect the nuts. But what's happened? All the leaves are gone. There are only 1, 2, 3 leaves left, and all those delicious nuts are gone too. Oh, sadly, Mouse walks home, back through the meadow, back past the farm, back through the field, without one single nut in her extra big pockets. A few leaves fly along with her. At home, at the top of the little hill, Gull is jumping up and down and screeching. There's Gull. Look at the extra special surprise the wind brought you last night, says Gull with a smile. What did the wind do? The wind blew all the nuts right down to Mouse. That was a nice surprise. That was a nice gift after the big rain. Okay, we are going to use our flannel board today. All right, we're going to do a flannel board poem about acorns. So first of all, let's count our acorns. 1, oops, 2, okay, has to be, oh, come on, flannel board. Okay, I think that's better. 3, 4, 5. All right, 5 little acorns, and here we're going to put Mr. Squirrel. All right, 5 little acorns sitting in a tree. Along came Mr. Squirrel, hungry as can be. Then the fall winds blew, blow, and rustled all the leaves, and down came an acorn. Oh, Mr. Squirrel is pleased. Remember, we just saw that, how the mice were looking for the acorns too. Now there's only 1, 2, 3, 4 little acorns sitting in a tree. Along came Mr. Squirrel, hungry as could be, and the fall winds blew, blow, and rustled all the leaves, and down came an acorn. Who was pleased? Mr. Squirrel was pleased, because he's going to gather these. Now we only have 1, 2, 3. 3 little acorns sitting in a tree. Along came Mr. Squirrel, hungry as could be. Then the fall winds blew, whoosh, and rustled all the leaves, and down came an acorn. Mr. Squirrel was pleased. 2 little acorns sitting in a tree. Along came Mr. Squirrel, hungry as could be. Then the fall winds blew and rustled all the leaves. Down came an acorn, and Mr. Squirrel was pleased. Now there's only 1 little acorn sitting in the tree, and along came Mr. Squirrel, hungry as could be. Then the fall winds blew and rustled all the leaves, and down came an acorn. Mr. Squirrel was pleased, and not only that, but more acorns had fallen from the tree. So Mr. Squirrel is ready for winter. Okay. Thank you, boys and girls. I hope you were saying that with me. Let's put these away, and we have time for a couple of more stories. Oh, Panda's going to sit back in the chair. What? Oh, he said move that flannel board. It's in his way. Okay, we'll just put the flannel board right down here. And you got your seat back. Okay. You all set? All right. Let's move these over here. Okay, boys and girls, ready for Pumpkins by Kate Duke. I am Hercules. I live in Miss McGuffey's first grade classroom. It's a good life, The food pellets come regularly, the water bottle is always full, and the first graders think I'm cute. And you can call me Herky. They like to teach me things. They taught me how to paint. Oh, wow. Hopefully when we get back downtown, we'll be able to do some prints too. And last fall, I learned all about Halloween. And all in all, I thought I was a pretty lucky guinea pig. I thought I had everything I could ever want. Look, they put Herky in there. They said, we're making a Herk-o-lantern, Miss McGuffey. But she said, children, take him out of there right now. But he saved some of the pumpkin seeds. Then spring came. The children were busy. They planted seeds in pots on the windowsill. I was busy too, taking naps in the sun. One day I noticed that plants were growing in the children's pots, and green beans were growing on the plants. Real green beans, delicious. All at once, I wanted to be more than just a classroom guinea pig. I wanted to grow things too. I wanted a garden of my own. Well, when school was over for the summer, I had my chance. Miss McGuffey brought me to my vacation home in the country. Well, that must be her dad, because she says, thanks for taking care of Herky, Dad. And she put him in his hutch, and whoa, he says, luckily I had saved some Halloween seeds. Luckily, I knew what to do with door latches. Most luckily of all, I found a friend to help me. Her name is Daisy. Daisy knows all about gardens. She showed me what to do. We found a sunny spot. We pulled up the weeds. We dug all the dirt. Herky says we, but who's doing all the work? And then, Daisy says good night and puts him back. Now, next we dropped each seed into its own hole and gave it a drink of water. And at last the garden was ready, and I was ready too, ready for pumpkins. But the seeds weren't ready. Seeds can take such a long time. They don't grow faster if you yell at them. They don't grow faster if you jump up and down and stamp your feet. They won't grow at all if you dig them up to see what they're doing. I tried all those things. Finally, Daisy said, cool it. Well, so I cooled it. I tried to be patient. I waited and waited and waited. Waiting is hard. Daisy helped me to do it. She told me stories about famous pumpkins in literature. Do you think that's Cinderella's pumpkin carriage? Together we made up pumpkin poems and songs about seeds. At last the seeds sprouted. Every day the little plants got bigger. They grew, leaf after leaf after leaf. My seeds had turned into a garden. The plants made buds. The buds became flowers, and the flowers turned into very small green pumpkins. Amazing! Daisy and I did a flower dance every time it happened. The pumpkins kept growing. They were round and perfect, and they were mine. Then birds and beetles came. They pecked my pumpkins and ate holes in the leaves. Worst of all, Daisy ate some of the pumpkin flowers. My pumpkin flowers. I yelled, I jumped up and down, I waved my arms and stamped my feet, and finally Daisy said, cool it. So I cooled it. The beetles ate some more holes, the birds kept pecking, and Daisy sometimes had a flower snack, and there was never enough for all of us. Oh, I'm sorry, there was always enough for all of us. And sometimes I had a flower snack too. A garden is not a place to be angry in. The pumpkins were still green when it was time to go back to school. It was hard to say goodbye to them, and hard to leave Daisy too, but looks like Miss McGuffey came and got him. Bye, Dad. So, time for new first graders. There's a sign that says, welcome new first graders. But you can't stay sad for long when you've had a garden. And she introduces him and says, this is Hercules. You can call him Herky. And I had things that were just as good as pumpkins. I had pumpkin poems and stories and songs. Well, the kids said, he's making that noise again. I guess they didn't realize he was singing songs. What's he doing now? Do you remember? I think he's doing his dance. The flower dance. I had flower dances to practice, and at night I could dream pumpkin dreams. And then, look at that. Miss McDuffie's dad looks outside and says, how did these get here? And I'll have another garden next year. And he brings the pumpkins to school. And his daughter, Miss McGuffey, is amazed. She said, they grew in your backyard? And he says, a mystery. We know how they got there, though. Look at Herky, he likes it. And Herky says, I know where I can get some seeds. And they say, look, we're making a Herco-lantern, Miss McGuffey. Like I said, I'm a pretty lucky guinea pig. Well, that was a fun story about growing pumpkins. And now we have one more story about finding pumpkins in the pumpkin patch. And it is called The Bumpy Little Pumpkin. Little Nell lived with Big Mama, Big Sarah, and Big Lizzie in a great big house in a great big woods. Well, looks like they're all getting ready for Halloween. Behind the great big house, there was a great big garden. And in the great big garden, there was a great big pumpkin patch. All summer long, Little Nell helped her family water and weed so that the pumpkins would go big and orange for Halloween. When Halloween finally came, Big Mama called Little Nell and her sisters into the kitchen. It's time for each of you to pick a pumpkin to carve, she said in her big blustery voice. Me too? Asked Little Nell. You too. So look at that pumpkin patch. Little Nell followed her sisters out to the pumpkin patch. There are so many wonderful pumpkins, it's hard to choose, said Big Sarah. She picked up a tall, skinny pumpkin. I think I like this one, she said. Big Lizzie picked up a round, fat pumpkin, a big, fat pumpkin, and she said, this is the one for me. But Little Nell couldn't decide. She walked back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, looking at all the pumpkins. Some were big, some were small, some were crooked, some were tall, and none was just right. At last, she came to the end of the patch, and there sat a bumpy little pumpkin. This one's my favorite, said Nell. It's bumpy and little and ugly, said Big Lizzie. It could have a nice smiley face, said Little Nell. No way, said Big Sarah. How about this nice smooth one instead? I like the bumpy one, said Nell. Big Sarah and Big Lizzie rolled their eyes. We're taking our pumpkins inside, said Big Sarah. You keep looking till you find a bigger and better one, said Big Lizzie. Then we'll help you carve it, said Big Sarah. Well, after they left, Nell sat down next to her bumpy little pumpkin and, oh, look at her just hugging it, and a tiny tear fell down her cheek. Oh, then another and another. Oh, you know why she's crying, don't you? Her sisters didn't like that pumpkin. But her friends, Reindeer and Hare and Bear Cub came along. What's wrong? Asked Bear Cub. Little Nell sniffled and snuffled. Big Lizzie and Big Sarah think my pumpkin is too bumpy and too little and too ugly to make a good jack-o'-lantern. I don't think it's too bumpy, said Bear Cub. Or too little, said Reindeer. Or too ugly, said Hare. You don't? Asked Little Nell. No, said the animals. This pumpkin would make a great jack-o'-lantern, said Reindeer, and we could help you carve it. How? Asked Little Nell. Like this, said Reindeer, and he lowered his head and cut round and round the top, look, with his horns, until he carved a lid. Ooh, said Little Nell, look at him. That's perfect. And I can scoop out the inside, said Bear Cub. How? Asked Little Nell. Well, he clawed and pawed and pawed and clawed until there was nothing left but an empty pumpkin shell. Oh, goody, said Little Nell. Now for the face. How can we do that? Let's ask the birds to help, said Hare. So Little Nell whistled for the birds. Crow, cardinal, and sparrow flew down from the trees. Could you make a face for my jack-o'-lantern? Asked Little Nell. What kind of face? Asked Cardinal. So with her finger, Little Nell etched and sketched and sketched and etched a face in the dirt. It had triangles for eyes, a square for the nose, and a smiley lopsided mouth. Like this, she said, and she showed the birds what she wanted. So Crow, Cardinal, and Sparrow poked and pecked and pecked and poked until the pumpkin had a face. Little Nell smiled a tiny smile. I can't wait to show it to Big Mama, Big Sarah, and Big Lizzie. So she picked it up and ran all the way to the house. What a beautiful jack-o'-lantern, said Big Mama. Where did you get it? From our pumpkin patch, said Little Nell. But who helped you carve it? Asked Big Sarah. My friends, Reindeer, Bear Cub, and Hare, said Little Nell. I still think it's little and bumpy and ugly, said Big Lizzie. Nonsense, said Big Mama. Jack-o'-lanterns come in all shapes and sizes. So the girls placed their jack-o'-lanterns near the door, and Big Mama lit them. Mine's cool, said Big Sarah. Mine's even cooler, said Big Lizzie. They're all wonderful, said Big Mama. Even mine? Asked Nell. Even yours, said Big Mama, and she leaned over and gave Little Nell a big sloppy kiss, and Little Nell smiled. Happy Halloween, and it looks like Little Nell and her jack-o'-lantern both have big smiles. So we hope you have fun getting ready for Halloween and picking out your pumpkin. And you know what? If you can't pick one out, you can make a pumpkin. You can use a paper plate. You can use a big piece of paper. You can get creative. Okay, that's all the stories for today. So let's stand up and give a big stretch. Oh, that feels good. Down. One more time. Good job. Okay. Now we're going to stretch with our song. Hands on shoulders, hands on knees, hands behind you if you please. Touch your shoulders, now your nose, now your hair, and now your toes. Hands up high in the air. Now touch your hair. Hands up high as before. Now clap your hands, 1, 2, 3, 4. And give yourselves a big clap for coming to story time. And We'll look for you next week. Wave goodbye, Panda. Bye, boys and girls. Oh, Panda's sending you a big hug, mwah, and a kiss.